A woman sat in her car for 20 minutes after reading her test results. HIV positive. She called her husband. She called her doctor. She started planning what the rest of her life would look like. 3 days later, she found out the test was wrong. The machine was broken. And the woman who built it had known for years. Her name was Elizabeth Holmes. And for nearly a decade, she convinced the world she had done the impossible. This is not a story about a con artist who got lucky. This is a story about a specific, calculated set of psychological tools so effective they worked on billionaires, generals, and some of the most experienced investors on the planet. Understanding how she did it is not just fascinating. It is a blueprint for recognizing manipulation at its highest level. Elizabeth Holmes dropped out of Stanford at 19 with one idea, a device the size of a shoebox that could run over 200 blood tests from a single drop of blood. No needles. No waiting. She called the company Theranos. She called the device Edison. The technology did not work. It never worked. Not in 2004 when she founded the company. Not in 2010 when she raised hundreds of millions in funding. Not in 2013 when real patients started using it. Not ever. But here is what did work. Elizabeth Holmes. So how do you convince investors who handed her $900 million, a board that included Henry Kissinger and 2 former secretaries of state, and hundreds of thousands of patients, that something works when it does not? The answer is not luck. The answer is psychology. Let's start with the first tool she used. Holmes understood something most people never consciously register. We do not evaluate ideas on their merits. We evaluate them based on who is standing in the room. She did not need the technology to work. She needed the right people to believe it would. So she built the most credible room possible. Henry Kissinger. George Shultz. James Mattis. William Perry. None of them scientists. None with expertise in blood diagnostics. But their presence sent one signal to every investor and every journalist: if these men believe in her, it must be real. She did not earn their trust through evidence. She earned it through proximity to power. And once that credibility was established, questioning Holmes meant questioning Kissinger. The social cost was too high for most people to pay. Now here is where it gets strange. Holmes did not just borrow Steve Jobs' wardrobe. She absorbed his mythology and rebuilt herself from scratch. Same black turtleneck, every single day. Same restaurant. His biography, read repeatedly. And then she changed her voice. Her real voice is higher, softer. You can find recordings of it. The voice she used in every interview, every board meeting, every investor call, was a constructed baritone. A deliberate daily performance. Her own family confirmed it. Former employees said it would slip when she was startled. Studies show deeper voices are perceived as more competent, more trustworthy, more dominant. Holmes manufactured that perception from scratch, every day, for over a decade. Tyler Schultz, a scientist who worked inside Theranos, described it like this: even while watching the machines fail every single day, a 5-minute conversation with Holmes made him feel like he was saving the world again. Tyler Schultz discovered the company was falsifying data. He went to his grandfather, George Shultz, a board member, and laid out the documented evidence. His grandfather looked at the evidence and chose the story instead. One of the most experienced political minds in American history dismissed proof of fraud from his own grandson. Not because the evidence was weak. Because Holmes had built something more durable than facts. She had built a belief. When Tyler escalated internally, Holmes did not address the evidence. She attacked the person. She surrounded him with lawyers. She made the cost of being right so high that silence felt rational. Researchers call this DARVO: deny, attack, reverse victim and offender. In October 2015, journalist John Carreiro published the Wall Street Journal expose. Holmes went on television and called it a lie. The CEO of a $9 billion company presented herself as a victim. When the manipulation is exposed, the manipulator does not collapse. They escalate. In deposition tapes later obtained by ABC News, attorneys asked Holmes direct questions about the fraud. She said the words, "I don't know," over 600 times. Her trial began in August 2021. On the stand, she claimed she genuinely believed the technology worked. She claimed her judgment had been impaired by an abusive relationship. She positioned herself, one final time, as someone who had been deceived rather than someone who had spent a decade deceiving others. In January 2022, she was convicted on 4 counts of fraud. In November 2022, sentenced to 11 years in federal prison. Sophisticated manipulation does not defeat your intelligence. It bypasses it entirely, by finding the place where you already want something to be true. The way to protect yourself is one specific habit: separate what someone claims from the evidence that actually supports it. And notice when the cost of asking that question starts to feel very high. Because the moment questioning someone feels socially dangerous, that is not a signal to stop. That is the signal that the manipulation is already working.